oxygen, leaving you exhausted. Drink from your own well and follow where your own path leads. Remember, what works for me is different from what works for you. Success is your birthright.
You are listening in to Spence Winlison right there, and Success is Your Birthright, the Bishop of Motivation. And, of course, you can join him each and every weekday right here on 1540 AM Power 104.5 FM and also our ZNS Television Network at 9 o'clock in the morning for immediate response. 6:55 is the time.
Coming up on Pastor Rick Warren's Daily Hope.
Now listen very closely to this. The things that defeat you in your life, the self-defeating habits in your life that you don't like about you, would you like to get rid of them? You will stop defeating yourself when you stop deceiving yourself.
For 5 wonderful years, we have been a part of your life, connecting, supporting, and believing, and we are grateful for every moment. We'll continue to grow with you, be with you, and support you through it all. This is who we are. A world-class network and superior customer service. And for 5 years, we've delivered on that promise. We are alive.
It's bodacious,
C-sharp.
This is the ZNS Network, providing radio and high-definition television services for the entire Bahamas. ZNS Network is operated by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas. It is located at Harcourt Rusty Bethel Drive, Centerville, Nassau. Our programming is designed to inform, educate, and entertain. We invite you to join us.
The following is a preamble of the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Whereas 481 years ago, the rediscovery of this family of islands, rocks and keys, heralded the rebirth of the New World. And whereas the people of this family of islands, recognizing that the preservation of their freedom will be guaranteed by a national commitment to self-discipline, industry, loyalty, unity, and an abiding respect for Christian values and the rule of law. Now, know we therefore, we the inheritors of, and successors to this family of islands, recognizing the supremacy of God and believing in the fundamental rights and freedoms of the individual, do hereby proclaim in solemn praise the establishment of a free and democratic sovereign nation, founded on spiritual values, and in which no man, woman, or child shall ever be slave or bondsman to anyone, or their labor exploited, or their lives frustrated by deprivation, and do hereby provide by these articles for the indivisible unity and creation under God of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Playing in the water can be loads of fun, but it can also be quite dangerous if all caution is thrown to the wind. Being alert and keeping an eye on young children and adolescents should always be priority. Here's how you can do it. Unfortunately, a lifeguard won't be at every beach and pool, so picking out someone to be the designated pool or beach watcher, especially when kids are around, is extremely important to lower risk of accidents in and around the water.
Whether it be in the sea or in the pool, you're going to make sure that everybody knows who the designated watcher is. And when you change over, if you're having an event that's lasting more than an hour or two, at least you can rotate out every 15 minutes and have 3 or 4 watchers set up. For an adult, any children at the age of 7, if they can swim, should still never be more than arm's reach apart. And when you have kids going through the Learn to Swim programs, we want to stay safe within them.
Crystal Darling, ZNS Digital Media.
It's Monday, October 25th, 2021, and the morning edition is live. On today's show, health and education tours taking place over in Eleuthera. A Bahamian designer reveals new clothing line in China. Shawnee Miller among the nominees for World Female Athlete of the Year. And we're talking poetry, so let's start the morning off right. Welcome to the morning edition. I'm LaDawn Davis. A surface trough along with streaming moisture continues to maintain unsettled weather across the islands. Weather variable, cloudy and humid with scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms, mainly in the northwest Bahamas. Showers may become heavy and thunderstorms strong to severe at times. High temperature today is 88 degrees with an overnight low of 73 degrees. Health and Wellness Minister, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darville, has assessed a number of clinics across Eleuthera. This past week, he, along with a team visiting clinics in Rock Sound, Palmetto Point, Spanish Wells, and Harbor Island. The minister noted that varying degrees of aid is required at each facility. However, he intends to obtain first-hand information on those needs as the ministry is required to complete a thorough scope of works ahead of a $40 million IDB loan to assist in the reform of healthcare facilities across this country.
There's an IDB loan facility that was signed by the former administration pretty much days before the general election, and there's a project management team that is being put together, and we're looking at clinics throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and part of that loan is responsible for clinic upgrades. And so it's important for me to get on the ground to see what conditions the clinics are in before we activate our engineer and quantity surveyor to come back through the islands to make a final determination of what the scope of work would be and how we would do the necessary upgrade going forward.
2 Eleuthera schools have undergone assessments by education and health officials as the government continues to evaluate schools across the Family Islands and their readiness for reopening. According to Minister of State for Education, the Honorable Zane Lightbourne, Preston H. Aubrey High School is not suitable for the complete face-to-face model for students, as some concerns remain.
In this particular case, it would be a hybrid model to begin. If we were to call schools to be open, if advised by health that we're ready to go. At the other school, at Roxham Primary School, they are ready to go fully face-to-face. Of course, there are some issues that are outstanding for repairs, but that doesn't prevent the opening of school at any particular time if it's called during this time to get children back face-to-face.
Immigration officials have taken custody of 28 Cuban intercepted in waters off Anguilla Key on Saturday. The United States Coast Guard reported spotting a vessel at about 4:30 before the Coast Guard moves in to secure the group from the vessels. We spoke with Immigration Minister, the Honorable Keith Bell, about what's next for that group.
A group of Cuban nationals, a total of 28, were intercepted by the U.S. Coast Guard and turned over to the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, who has subsequently turned those persons over to the Bahamas Immigration Department. They're currently in custody in Grand Bahama. They're being processed, quarantined, and as soon as we're able to provide more information, we will. We will move as quickly as we possibly can. Of course, obviously, we need the cooperation of the Cuban government. But our intention, our position is that we want to repatriate these persons home as quickly as possible to ensure that we minimize costs to government and to the Bahamian people.
The island of San Salvador could experience an economic turnaround with the reopening of Club Med. Minister of Tourism, Aviation and Investment, the Honorable Chester Cooper, says the reopening of all-inclusive resort is a top priority of the Davis administration. Direct flights from Air France are expected to resume once the hotel reopens.
Prime Minister and myself we met with Club Med, and we are working at the moment to see how we can get that investment going again. As you know, this is the Prime Minister's constituency. Cat Island, Rumkey, and Salvador is a key component. He's very concerned about it. Suffice to say, we as a government very concerned about it, and therefore we're going to do all in our power to ensure that it gets going again to the benefit of the people of San Salvador.
Christmas will come early for residents on the island of Exuma as a major tourism injection is expected to greet the festive season. Air Canada is set to launch non-stop flights from Toronto, Canada into Georgetown, Exuma, beginning December 19th. The once-weekly flights are scheduled for Sundays. A combined 80 new COVID-19 cases confirmed in the Ministry of Health's latest update for Friday and Saturday. Of the Friday cases, 44 were here in New Providence, 3 in Abaco, and the other in Grand Bahama, for a total of 48. The latest dashboard on Saturday reflecting 32 new cases, 21 in New Providence, 6 in Eleuthera, 2 each in Grand Bahama and the Berry Islands, and 1 in Inagua. Overall, the country has recorded 22,259 cases of the virus. Hospitalizations stand at 92, 80 persons are moderately ill, and 12 are in the intensive care unit. The country's death toll remains at 642, while 60 deaths are still under investigation. And when we come back, a Bahamian designer reveals his new clothing line in China. So keep it locked.
Everything is changing, and your favorite hardware and home improvement store is getting with the program. We Buy You Sell is rolling out its new online shopping feature. If you go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, it's a quick and easy 3-step process. Step 1, browse the gallery and select your item. Step 2, add to cart. And Step 3, check out. Go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, to shop with us today.
We play just like your kids. We text just like your kids. We learn. We even cook. We take selfies. We have hobbies. And we love sports. In every way, we are just like everyone else and enjoy the same things and live our lives every day, just like you do. So if you happen to meet us, treat us just like everyone else. Because at the end of the day, we're just like you. Living life with Down syndrome is simply living. To learn more about Down syndrome, call 727-2105. This message is brought to you by the Grand Bahama Down Syndrome Society.
Andros is the #1 bone fishing destination on our planet. Sports fishermen visit our flats every year to participate in one of the most fulfilling outdoor activities known to man, fly fishing. And guess what? It's 100% sustainable. Without areas like the west side of Andros, sustaining this industry would be absolutely impossible. So let's take care of nature, and nature will take care of us.
Dozens of breast cancer survivors received free dental cleaning over the weekend, courtesy of the Bahamas Dental Association and the Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies teams. The aim was to not only celebrate World Dental Month, but to show survivors fighting breast cancer that we are all in this fight together. President of the Bahamas Dental Association, Dr. Shamika Strawn, says the outreach effort was to enhance oral health.
A total of 20 volunteers Many were dentists, dental hygienists, and just some people out of the community, some families, some friends, dental assistants, of course, who came out and rendered their services yesterday, were breast cancer survivors who were also fully vaccinated. We wanted to take a stance as dental healthcare providers and healthcare advocates to take a stand on where we are with vaccines. So we use this opportunity to advocate for vaccinations, in that all of the persons who presented yesterday were required to be fully vaccinated. So many came out. We serviced a total of 27 people who were all ecstatic. They were very grateful for the service that was offered.
In 2019, a mother and resident of High Rock, Grand Bahamas, saw her home swept away in Hurricane Dorian. Family members were staying in the house at the time, and as a result, they all perished. Today, the remaining siblings are seeking assistance to help restore their mother's home. Here's Ramiko Knowles.
It was one of the many tragic and heart-wrenching stories hailing from a resident of East Grand Bahama, a mother who lost her daughter, 2 sons, and her house during Hurricane Dorian. Some 2 years later, the remaining siblings are looking to rebuild their mother's home. Maydon Swan and Maylois Ramsey say they were given promises, but nothing ever materialized.
She wants to go back home. She wants to be back home in her own space and her own familiar surroundings. But unfortunately, as her children, we cannot do it on our own. And hence, we are here asking the community, asking the 242 to help us out. We have tried, and many times you are not in the position to do it. So if you are not in the position to do it, you would go and seek help, which we are now asking for assistance to help us, to help her get back into High Rock.
The mother, Odetta Cooper, has been staying with both her daughters since the storm destroyed her home in 2019. It's a life that she has yet to grow accustomed to.
Sitting in freeboard, just sitting down, nowhere to go. Can't do nothing. Can't in the morning time, just clean out the house and sit down, have lunch. And after that, nothing to do. I'm used to that.
She says her children are taking good care of her, but she prefers to be on her own.
And they helping me. Ain't nothing why I want, why I don't get. He say for that. What they could do for me, they just do it. But since I could do it, let me do it. I don't like pin on people. And I don't like beg people. Now I get a spot, I can't do it. If anybody would tell me, say, I was been like this, I would tell them no way.
Now, some may argue that an elderly person should not be living in a home alone and should be staying with her children or in a home for the aged. But her daughters share a different opinion.
Because she's a farmer. She's a farmer, and that's what she does. That's what she loves, to be in the yard, taking care of the yard, and she would just pick whatever she have, and she would share it with those in the community. But she is still a person, an elderly person, a senior citizen, who has her own independence, and I don't think that we should be discriminated because of our age.
7 o'clock in the morning time, I get up, go in my garden, and that keeps me going for the rest of the day.
Now, if you would like to assist, you can contact them at 806-2771 or 441-4177. Or you can donate to Scotiabank account number 400-2538, branch 80515, in the name of Odetta Cooper.
A Bahamian designer residing in China is making it big in that international market and has plans to expand his brand right here at home. The morning team caught up with designer Ben Benaby to discuss his new collection.
I've lived in China for over 11 years, and I've had some trouble finding things in my size, in my style, so I wanted to create something that I would be comfortable wearing.
It's no secret that Bahamians are extremely talented in any career they choose and can make a name for themselves anywhere in the world. Bahamian-born fashion designer Ben Benaby took advantage of an opportunity and released his new clothing line for men called Ben, a collection with a Bahamian Asian flair that continues to make strong waves in the China market.
I decided to do a little, small, tiny collection, what I did for my birthday, which was just solely for me to wear. And I made about 5 pieces of each, and I put it again on Taobao, and they sold almost instantly. And so I decided that I would go bigger. I have some tracksuits, but I wanted to play with different materials and different fabrics. I have some long sleeves, some short sleeves. I have some sets. Actually, what I'm wearing right now is from the collection as well. And yeah, it's about 20 pieces in the collection with about 6 sets. And that was my first collection that I released September 15th. I'm actually working on my winter collection at the moment.
Ben says he's not only fascinated with solid colors, but is also amazed by the marketing styles and strategies of international designers like Louis Vuitton and Alexander Wang that gave him the inspiration he needed to start his own line. When asked if he plans to team up with Bahamian designers to make designer magic, Ben responded this way.
I have some local designers back home that I see they're doing a really amazing job and working with a lot of celebrity clients, and I actually speak to quite a few of them pieces. And, you know, they were pretty much telling me to go for it. And I kept questioning, you know, I'm not sure if, you know, people back home would like this style, if they would be open to the idea of certain designs. And, you know, a lot of them told me, just do it. Do what you love, and people will appreciate it.
And as we head to the break, we take a look back at today in Bahamian history. On October 25th, 1956, the Sandilands Hospital in Fox Hill was officially opened, replacing the outdated and inadequate quarters on the hilltop site at the Princess Margaret Hospital. The facility cost £250,000 and could accommodate 200 patients. Also on October 25th, 1975, World Heavyweight Boxing Champion Muhammad Ali arrived here in Nassau to stage an exhibition at the Queen Elizabeth Sports Center. The day of the event, October 27th, was declared Muhammad Ali Day.
You are a healthcare worker. Thank you for fighting on the front lines against COVID-19. It is normal to feel stressed when taking care of others who don't feel well. But remember to take care of yourself. Don't forget to rest between shifts, eat healthy meals, engage in physical activity, and stay connected to family and friends. Avoid harmful coping strategies like drinking alcohol. For managers of healthcare workers, the same tips apply to you. Here's how you can help. Consistently give updates. Rotate staff between high and low stress level functions. Encourage work breaks and ensure that they know where they can find help. We are here for you.
Incredible year of track and field, Shawnee Miller-Uibo is looking to add another award to her growing collection of accolades. World Athletics, the international governing body for track and field, has confirmed that the reigning women's 400-meter Olympic champion is a nominee for the Female Athlete of the Year award. We spoke with B3A's President Jamiko Archer about what winning this award would mean.
It's no more fitting than now that after having won 2016 gold medal in the 400 meters, she's come back and defended her title in the 2021 Olympic Games. And so a double gold medalist, all from one country, is an amazing feat. And so I think that Shawnee is poised to be one of the iconic 400-meter runners of all time.
The Caribbean Junior Cycling Championships taking place over the weekend in the Dominican Republic. The Bahamas was represented by a 2-member team, Felix Neely and Baron Musgrove Jr. Neely took part in the 17 to 18 junior division, where he finished 11th in both the time trial and the road race. Musgrove was in the 15 to 16 juvenile division. He too finished 11th in the time trial. However, in the road race, Musgrove was involved in a crash and did not finish the race. After being postponed at the beginning of the year, the Don't Blink Home Run Derby will return to our shores in December with all health and safety protocols in place. Organizer Todd Isaacs Jr. says it's all about giving back.
Play a sport that allows us to go places, see places, but at the end of the day, you have to really come home and use that platform to make it a little better place. It was people before us, athletes before us, famous celebrities before us in their respective class that didn't use their platform to build a bridge. Here in the Bahamas, our best baseball field is in the prison. So that just goes to show that, with the lack of funds, the lack of, respect to the game, we still are able to produce the most professional athletes in the Bahamas. And that's cool to be a part of that number, because if you go around, amateur baseball isn't really invested in. And, being able to have guys sign at 16 years old, change their family's lives is a cool thing to be a part of.
The ladies' edition of the White Sands Bahamas College Golf Invitational came to a close yesterday at the Ocean Club course on Paradise Island. It was a competitive 3 days of play with the Campbell University Camels coming out on top in the team division. The University of Nebraska was 4 shots back in second. They were followed by Miami, Mercer, Florida International, Northern Illinois, and Iowa. Individually, Nebraska's Kirsten Beatty captured his first career title. The men's edition of the tournament will take place later on this week. And after the break, we're talking poetry, so keep it locked.
It is important to take precautions to reduce your risk of getting infected with COVID-19, even when you go to the grocery store. Practice physical distancing that is 6 feet apart from others. While you wait in line to enter the store, 1 person per household needs to go. Use wipes to disinfect the cart or basket handle that you select. Avoid touching your face, unnecessary items, and surfaces. Try to touch only what you are buying. So carry a grocery list to help you move along quickly. Do not forget to wear a cloth mask while you do your shopping and carry hand sanitizer with you. Practice physical distancing that is 6 feet apart from others as you shop and at the cash register. As little time as possible in the store and get enough groceries to last you for a while. Once your groceries are packed and loaded, use hand sanitizer and rub your hands together until they are completely dry. When you come home from the grocery store, take off your shoes at the door and put all of your grocery bags in one area. Disinfect your grocery bags. Rinse produce and wipe down cans and packages with soap and water before you put them away. Wash your hands thoroughly for 20 seconds when you are done. Wash your clothes and your reusable grocery bags.
This message has been brought to you by the Ministry of Health in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
As an artist, I travel all over the world and I find inspiration all around me. From the people, and especially the environment. I love the Bahamas with all its natural beauty. From Abaco in the north to Inagua in the south and all the wonderful and colorful islands in between. But we must all do our part to keep the Bahamas healthy and clean, now and for the future generations. That's why I want you to find a little time to do your part. I'm doing my part because I care. Do you?
Whether your Saxons Valley family roots are Genesis, Junkanoo runs through your blood. The postponement of the annual cultural festival held during the Christmas season left many feeling withdrawn. Kelsey Johnson tells us that your Junkanoo withdrawals can be fixed by putting the pieces of the puzzle together.
The pulsating sound that comes from the goatskin drum, the ringing of cowbells and melodic tunes blown from the trumpet are just a few pieces of the great Junkanoo puzzle. Junkanoo, a rich part of our culture, can now be included in game night thanks to Jigsaw Puzzle Bahamas. Owner Anton Thompson also found the missing piece of showcasing the country's unique festival to the world. He created the Junkanoo puzzle.
I always saw it as Junkanoo as a way to, it was such an exciting parade, the lights, the costumes, the sound, and I always wanted to do something with Junkanoo besides, just the parade. And I felt that making it into a form of a puzzle would have been, a great activity. You got the colors, the energy, all captured in a photo. But, to put it together, it would be, a fun, adventurous, hobby that you would, have fun doing with your family and friends.
Capturing the sights from various parades was easy for this Junkanoo lover. So when it came to putting in the work for the puzzle, Thompson, a member of the Valley Boys Junkanoo group, says burning the midnight oil was natural for him.
Actually, I didn't really decide on one particular size. I wanted to do like numerous sizes. Depends on, how competitive you wanted to be. If you wanted something simple like a 24-piece, I did it for a 24-piece. If you wanted that real hardcore, challenge, made it into 1,000 pieces. So it varies from 23, 63, 100, 140, 300, 500, 1,000 pieces.
Thompson shares the design concept.
Actually, it's photo paper. It's photo paper and cardboard. The same conventional puzzle that you buy at the stores. It's the same thing. It's just more Bahamian. Instead of the generic, you see a picture from somewhere around the world, I wanted to do it with, Bahamian culture. Because it's not just Junkanoo puzzles that I do. It's like, we're trying to do more Bahamian culture, Bahamian landscapes, all the islands, historical landmarks, different places on the islands that, that are significant.
And just like shaking the cowbells or lining up in the choreographed section, you need coordination, or like Bahamians say, a little rhythm.
Because it's not only just, for fun, it's also educational. And it's cognitive, because, puzzles are good for, sight, memory, So it's like a whole ton of things I thought about when I started the company. When I started the business, it was actually, targeting more of the tourists. Because, like I said, I'm a Junkanoo. And I used to watch the way tourists used to interact with Junkanoo. They wanted to buy the costumes. They wanted to buy, anything to carry back to say, I have a souvenir of the parade. And where Junkanoo is one of the most top festivals in the world, I was like, there's got to be a smaller way that tourists could, capture.
Thompson was able to capture and box a piece of Bahamian culture.
The Bahamas Poetry Open Style Competition is underway. This year's topic is hope. This morning we are joined by President Jermaine Roll. Mr. Roll, welcome to the morning edition.
Good morning. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be here this morning.
So, Mr. Roll, talk us a little bit about the competition and what we can expect.
Well, Bahamas Poetry Competition started in 2018. I always had a love for poetry, and there were very few avenues for poets to express themselves. So I created this platform in 2018 where authors, writers, spoken word artists can express themselves and be appreciated. The competition takes the format of a written competition at first. Writers are invited to submit their work on topics of national importance. Every year, we choose a topic of national importance for writers to compose on. So once the written portion is finished, they are judged by a panel of judges that base their writing, that actually judge their writing on certain criteria like creative expression, artistry, clarity of expression, flow of material, and attention to subject matter.
And submissions started on September 28th and run through October 28th. How has the response been so far?
The response has been great. I normally promote the competition online, and the response has been overwhelming.
And what do you recommend should take place?
Well, what I do recommend is that persons log on to the website, BahamasPoetryCompetition.com, sign up. There's a Very easy platform there where you can sign up. Once you click on Enter Now, it'll take you to the page where you could sign up, and also there's a payment button for ease of...
Jermaine Rule, thank you so much for joining us here on the Morning Edition, and all the best to you and your team. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And be sure to stay tuned into the ZNS Network for news as it happens, TV and radio updates throughout the day. Then you can tune into the Northern Edition at 6:30 and the Bahamas Tonight at 7. And that's a wrap for us this morning. For the entire team, I'm LaDawn Davis. Have a great morning, everyone.
Sliding, slipping, dipping, dancing all across the floor. Whining, bumping, jerking, Lord, I'm holding my head. Well, listen, you can't blame me. It's this red and square you see.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.